Today I'm going to be reviewing this Hamilton Beach 11 cubic foot stand-up or upright freezer. Now this is going to be the one that has the drawers inside, which I'll show you here in a minute. But first of all, I just want to show you why we personally chose this Hamilton Beach one. And that's simply because of the size. So it's going to be really tall, which I'll give you the measurements here in a minute. But the width was the issue. You can see here we have it right next to our washer and dryer combo. And we only had a narrow spot. And really this was the only spot in the house that we could fit a freezer. And so a full upright freezer, although it would fit up at the top, would not fit next to these, and there's no way for us to move these without purchasing like a stackable unit or something like that. So I love the fact that this is going to be narrow enough that you can fit it into a lot smaller spaces than you would a traditional sized upright freezer. Let me grab a tape measure real fast just to show you those dimensions. So total height is a hair under 67 inches tall. The width on this is going to be about 23 and a half or so. Depth on this is going to be also about 23 and a half, but that doesn't include the handle. So including the handle, it's actually going to be about 26 inches deep. So that was the first reason that we chose to purchase this Hamilton Beach 11 cubic foot freezer. The other reason was the drawers themselves. So this is what it's going to look like inside of here. So you're going to have 6 of these bigger drawers, and I'll just pull those out here to just kind of show you what that's going to look like. So you can see we got some candy inside of there and got some veggies inside of there, really healthy drawer up here. But all of these 6 drawers are going to be this same size, and then you're going to have one smaller drawer down here at the bottom. So this one's only going to be like a half drawer, so it's only going to be half as deep. It's going to be the same width, but only going to be about half as deep because of the angle that the back of this comes in at. So it's nice that they actually have added a drawer all of the way up. Now, one downside to this is because it has the drawers, it can kind of create almost an airlock. So when you go to open the door itself, it is actually going to be much harder to pull open. And truthfully, when we first got this, before we put any food inside of this freezer, when opening it, we would almost tip this freezer over just because of that airlock situation happening. Once you get food into it, it's not as bad. As you can see here, what we'll typically do, I think I'm putting pressure on it, what we'll typically do is just kind of pull on it for a little bit and it'll unlock itself. But if you like jerk on it, let me do that here. You can also jerk on it to kind of get open. But again, I currently have it full of food, so that does make it easier. When it's empty, you're gonna notice that really, like how difficult it is to open. And this could almost creates an airlock because of the drawers. Overall, I love this Hamilton Beach 11 cubic foot freezer. Love the drawers and the organization that it allows us. One last thing I did want to show you was the measurement of the drawers themselves. So inside of this one, you've got about 16 and 5/8 on the width. Depth, or how deep it is going to be a little under 6 inches on this, going all the way down. And then from front to the back, so total length that you're going to be able to put stuff in is going to be a little over 14. It's 14 here to the front, but then you can see it kind of goes back into there. One last thing I did want to show you is how it actually works. So underneath each one of these drawers, you're actually going to have this little freezer rack that's actually going to get ice on it. Like we've had this for about 6 months. And so this is going to get some ice on it. And this is going to be what keeps your food cold. So you don't have to worry about food actively blocking where the airflow is or something like that. Like if it just had airflow in the back of the freezer. Instead, it all works underneath here. So underneath each one of these drawers, all of the way down, you're going to have this little kind of like a freezer tray, like an ice tray almost, underneath it. And then you're also going to have one up on top at the very top.